In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to draw this type of stair using ArchiCAD. So let's begin. And the first step will be opening a new workspace. Once you've done that, select or click on Design and drop down to Slab Tool. Click on it. On the top, under Geometry Method, on this part, select this option. Click once in the workspace, drag your mouse and type 10,000 millimeters by 10,000 millimeters. Click on the slab, right click and select slab selection settings, and this will pop up. Under geometry and positioning, click on this part and then type 150 millimeters as the thickness of our slab. Once you've done that, click on Model. Under Override Surfaces, click on this part and select this, and select the same option for the other surfaces and click OK. Right click and select Show All in 3D. And this is how our slab will look like. The next step will be drawing our stair. Click on Ground Floor. Under Document, drop down to Circle Tool. At the top, under Geometry Method, select this option. Click on the slab to begin drawing your circle. Drag your mouse and type 700 millimeters as the radius, and then begin drawing your circle, and then click on this part to end your circle. The next step will be drawing another circle. So under Document, click on Circle Tool. Click on Document, click on Circle Tool. Select the center of our circle. Click on that point. Drag your mouse to begin drawing the radius of the second circle and type 1700 millimeters. Once you've done that, you're going to click on the inner circle. Click on it. Click on this point. Drag your mouse and click on this point. Once you've done that, under Design, drop down to Stair Tool. Click on it. Click on the space bar and then click on the inner line, and your spiral staircase will be drawn. Let's view it in 3D. Right click and drop down to Show All in 3D. And this is how it will look like. Now the next step, we are going to begin editing our stair. Click on the stair, right click, and click on stair selection setting, and this will pop up. And you're going to begin entering settings for this structure. Click on it. Under this, drop down to flight structure, and you're going to select stringers only. Under landing structure, you're going to click on stringers only. And the next step will be specifying the stringers that you want on the stair. For this, we are going to select the left stringer, so under flight, select this. For the finish, we are going to select trend only. The next step will be click on trend, and under this, select that as the nosing, and then click OK. Now let's view our progress in 3D. Right now, you can see that the stringers are in both sides. So let's make some changes on our stair. Click on it, right click, and select stair selection setting. Under structure, drop down to flight structure and uncheck that box, and do the same for the landing structure. We only want the stringer to be on the right. Once you've done that, click on stair and click OK. And you'll notice there's a change in our stair. Now let's proceed with the next change that you're going to make on our stair. Click on it. Click on railing. Click on spacebar and click on this part of the stair, and our railing will be inserted automatically once you do that. Now let's make changes of the railing. Click on it, right click, and select railing selection setting, and this will pop up. On this part, click on that and select frameless glass railing. Click apply and click OK. And you'll notice there is this change in our stair. Now the next step will be removing the inner posts of our railing. Right click, select railing selection setting. Under inner post, click on that, and on this part, click on that part, and the inner posts will be removed. This is how it will look like without the inner posts. Now let's make another change on our railing, and you're going to change this part of our stair. Click on the railing, select railing selection setting. Under segment, click on reference line, select that, and click OK. And you'll notice that our railing has moved inwards. The next step that you're going to do is increase. Right click, click on railing selection setting. Under segment settings, type -200, and on this part type of 100 millimeters. And you'll notice there's this change on our stair. The next step will be changing the end rails of our railing. This part, this is the part that you're going to make a change on. So click on the railing, right click, select railing selection setting, and then drop down to ends. Click on that, and under top rail end setting, select that, click on that. On this part, type 10 millimeters. Click on this part, click on that part and type 1100 millimeters. And for this part, type 100 millimeters. Click OK, and let's see the change that is going to be made. Once you do that, you'll notice that the top rail has an end right now. Now let's adjust this end of our rail. Let's type 5 millimeters. Let's type 50 millimeters under that. Let's adjust again to 70 millimeters, and you'll notice there's that change. We can make it 60 millimeters, and that's how you edit a railing. In this next step, we are going to draw a railing of the other end of our stair on this part. So under design, drop down to railing. Click on the space bar and then click on this part of our stair. Once you do that, you'll notice a railing will be drawn. Let's begin making changes of the new railing. Click on the railing, right click, select railing selection setting, click on railing. On this part, click on frameless glass railing and click apply and click OK. Once you do that, you'll notice a change of our railing. Let's continue editing that railing. Under segment, let's enter settings, but let's begin with the inner post. Remove the inner post. For the panel, click on panel. Under panel component setting, click on style add dimension. Select 3D representation. Under building materials and surfaces, you're going to select this. You're going to select gypsum plasterboard. Check that box. And under that, we are going to select glossy white at the top. You're going to see glossy white underpaint. And then click on that box and click OK. And you'll see this change on our railing. Let's continue making changes of our railing. Select the railing. Right click and select railing selection setting. Click on railing. Let's first click on panel settings. And on this part, drop down to panel component settings and select style and dimension. Once you do that on this part, type 150 millimeters and click OK. And you'll notice this change. Now let's move our railing on the outer side. Right click, railing selection setting. Under railing, under segment, click on this reference line click OK. And you'll notice this change. Now let's change the thickness of that railing. Under panel component settings, type 100 millimeters. Click on railing selection setting. Under segment, type 55 millimeters. And you'll notice there's that change. Now let's make changes of the top rail. Under railing selection setting, click on panel settings, and on this part type 50 millimeters, and this change will be made. Let's adjust that again. Type 60 millimeters. The next step will be changing the top rail ending. Right click, click on railing selection setting, and for the ends, click on that part under top rail end settings. For this part, type 5 millimeters. On this, type 70 millimeters. And on this part, type 1100 millimeters. Once you do that, you'll notice this change. Let's begin editing our stringer. Click on this stair, right click, and click on stair selection setting. Under flight, for the stringer component setting, select representation. Under building materials and surfaces, check those box, and then select glossy white and click OK. And that's how you draw this type of stair using ArchiCAD.